After I posted my previous video titled, "This Wilbur Soot stan is insane," I fell asleep and woke up to the most unhinged crash out I've seen in a while. Hello everyone, I'm Arssen, and today I will be responding to numerous essay responses by the subject of my last video and a couple of critiques from his subscribers. This is Dewdrzps. He's a part of this Wilbur support squad, a group of fanatics who believe in Wilbur Soot's innocence. For those of you who are unaware, last year, popular Minecraft YouTuber and musician Wilbur Soot was accused of domestic abuse by his ex-girlfriend Shubble. She had made a stream where she talks about an anonymous ex-boyfriend who abused her by biting her until she bruised. Following the stream and speculation from the broader Minecraft community, Wilbur would come out with a Twitter statement where he claims that the biting was consensual, but at the same time expressed that her feelings were valid, which majority took as an admission of abuse. He would also be accused by another ex-girlfriend, Alice Nyanya, for sexual assault and grooming by another content creator, Hey I'm Rue. Now, Dewdrzps stands out to me because out of all the Wilbur stans that I have seen, he is the only one who made insane claims that Shubble is in fact an abuser and made character AI bots depicting her as such. In my last video, I called him out on his lies regarding the Katybugs and Shubble situations, as well as condemned his creations of abusive character AI bots. I will be looking at his comments under that video, his posts about it on Tumblr, and his messages to me on Discord. Oh, and let me be clear, please don't harass this guy or his friends. I don't condone that. If you do it, you're giving them more excuses to act like Dewdrzps is a victim. So please, don't do that. Under my last video, he first gave this comment.
I appreciate you taking the time to make a video and talk about your response, but I also see it a bit unnecessary, as you could have messaged me privately about it. I would much more prefer to talk to about this via private conversation, Pinterest or Tumblr, where I can express and explain myself better if you would like. A lot of your commentary was unnecessary about me, and I don't appreciate how you're trying to come off as mature while doing so, and I apologize if I acted like I was immature in turn, but I don't appreciate it regardless. Edit. I want you to remember that I also talked about a lot of things have changed, and my information has changed. I was aware that some of my information wasn't fully true or accurate because I was still new to finding information. I searched for a lot of things and based off what I could find regarding Rue, and I didn't not find anything regarding her age. I wasn't aware that there are deepfakes at that time, and after I noticed it was fake information, I stopped including that. Edit 2. I'd also really like to if we could talk about this privately and take the video down. I'm taking both of the videos you mentioned in here down because you did bring up good points about me not have concrete evidence, which I'm trying to get better at providing.
To address his desire for private messaging, I do not like to do that. Why? I responded to public videos, posts, and media that were made with the intention of public consumption. I especially do not like how the intent seems to be that he wants to convince and manipulate me into taking down my video. If you want to express and explain yourself better, make a video response. You have the platform to do so with your almost 500 subscribers. Oh, wait, no you don't. You deleted your channel over this. Over a video that, at the time of me writing the script, has less than 500 views. You had a larger platform than me, yet you went and deleted everything. I know I am harsh when it comes to my commentary, but that is a response to the egregious behavior that you had in your videos and posts. Not everyone on the internet will respond in a way that you like. That's the nature of being a content creator. I'm not your mother. I am not responsible for your feelings. I addressed you as a content creator. My judgment is based on your words and actions. I really don't care about your personal identity. When it comes to your explanation regarding your information, that is not an excuse. Before you put out a video or a post about a situation, you should ensure that what you say can be backed up by evidence. Isn't that what you criticize Shubble and all the women who accused Wilbur for? You are 16 years old. You have the mental capacity to think for yourself, and you already have the judgment to make informed decisions. At least after I called you out, you took down the videos spreading misinformation. Then Dewdrzps adds another comment to my video.
I'm coming back to this because there's something important I've realized. You're 20 years old, right? At that age, you're still new to adulthood, and I get that, but it's difficult for me to understand how you can present yourself as mature and then choose to speak about a teenager the way you did. I know this probably isn't your proudest moment, but honestly, it's not something I'm okay with.
Fuck off with this moral posturing about my age. Your age does not matter to me. I critiqued you for your actions. You are at an age where you know right from wrong. It is not my problem that you're a minor. I'm not going to handle you with child safety gloves because I'm an adult.
We were having what I thought was a light, if morally complicated discussion. I shared my perspective, one that you clearly disagreed with, and I understand that. I understand you were upset, that you may not approve of the things I believe, and I also understand that you've been unwell. But none of that justifies making a 43-minute video about a minor without giving them a chance to respond, especially when that video involves misinformation, even if unintentionally.
Dewdrzps, the point of making the video was to call you out for your insane actions. I don't make videos about random stands simply because they said something I don't agree with. Do you know why I never made a video going in depth on someone like Dewdrzps, who made the George Not Found Admitted to It clip compilation on Twitter, or Tubbs for You, who was featured in Slopmoel's video? Because outside of those dramas, they are normal people who sometimes engage in discourse. They have not made videos pushing outrageous lies on a creator or various works that insist that the alleged victim is actually the abuser. There are lots of people who are in the Wilbur support squad and who have pushed similar misinformation, such as the peak COVID lie in regards to Alice Nyanya's story, yet I don't go after them since they have done anything super egregious. You made 3 character AI bots and various stories depicting Shubble as an abuser. Stop using the excuse that you're a minor. You can't do fuck shit and cry victim when someone shines the spotlight on you, even if you're a minor. You did all of this shit in a public setting for public consumption, and you would have never taken them down if I didn't make my video. The reason why the video even reached 43 minutes in the first place is because I had to read everything you wrote in your Dear Shubble Supporters video and respond to your points. The video may have been 2 minutes and 27 seconds long, but the paragraphs in them made it longer. The final version of my narration alone was nearly 9 minutes, and that was after it was sped up, coupled with my commentary after every point, and yeah, it's no wonder it reached that long. Seeing your long-ass essays this time, I would not be surprised if this video reaches a similar or longer length. Don't want it to be long, be more concise then. Don't make walls of text that I have to read out for my audience. Also, what misinformation is in my video? As far as I know, between the two of us, I actually did the work to ensure that what I'm saying is supported by evidence. That's a lot more than what you did, such as claiming that Shubble hit Wilbur based on some person claiming to be her cousin, and that she accused Speedy and Parker of abuse without giving any sort of evidence.
You could have reached out. I'm available on Discord, Pinterest, and even Tumblr. If there was something I got wrong, if you felt misrepresented or hurt, an adult approach would have been to talk to me directly. But I'm the one who had to reach out and ask for a conversation. That speaks volumes. You're allowed to be angry, you can disagree with me completely, and you're entitled to your opinions. But name-calling, mockery, and public shaming of a minor from someone who should know better is what genuinely bothers me, especially when you called me fucked in the head, a bitch, and retarded.
I am not your friend. I am not your mother. I saw what you put out on your accounts as a content creator, and I criticized it publicly. You made a video called Katybug Situation responding to some random commenter you were arguing with on your YouTube post.
So recently on my YouTube, there has been me and this person having a disagreement on a situation regarding Katybugs and George Not Found, which you can find via the screenshots I'm probably going to edit soon and put up when I upload this video.
You could have reached out to them on those platforms, so why didn't you? You can't lecture me on standards that you yourself cannot even uphold. It is my channel, my videos, my decisions. If you want to criticize me, you can also make a video response instead of deleting everything and going into hiding. I do not owe you anything, especially when you have shown disgusting behavior. I am well within my right to call you a retarded bitch who's fucked in the head, because that is my assessment based on the words and actions that you have put out. You are not owed immunity because you are a minor. You are 16 years old. That is old enough to comprehend the consequences of your words and actions. You act as if you're in elementary school and have no sense of personal accountability. You aren't 6 years old anymore. It is not my responsibility to handhold you through this. People on the internet do not owe it to you to be nice and to sugarcoat things. If you have the mental capacity to write and say slanderous things about a creator, then you have the capacity to understand that people will criticize you for it. I stand by what I said and will say about you.
That said, I want to be clear. I am sorry for saying things you didn't agree with, and more importantly, I'm sorry for making bots that depicted Shelby as an abuser. That was wrong, and I've since taken them down. I also regret unknowingly spreading misinformation. The video you're referencing is nearly 6 months old, I think, and I've since revised many of my statements, taken out things that weren't accurate, and I'm still in the process of correcting more. Unfortunately, no one reached out to tell me some of it was incorrect, so I didn't know. But I won't apologize for the way I speak about Katie and George. My beliefs there are rooted in personal morals. I don't condone anyone being touched without verbal consent, no matter the context. Whether Katie lied or not isn't the issue for me. I just can't support it morally, and I'm sorry if that wasn't clear to you when you made your video.
Are you actually sorry, or are you sorry that you got caught? Those bots were your most popular ones that you had no problem writing and posting for other people to use. I find it hard to believe that you're really sorry about that. If I had never called you out, would you have removed those bots? Or would you have written more, considering you have a hug box of people who have similar beliefs? To quote you from your video on Katybugs, let's be real. Dewdrzps only deleted those bots and apologized because he got caught. Don't act like he came forward out of moral integrity. He apologized because he had no choice. And even then, he tried to shift the blame, bring up unrelated stuff, and paint me as a harasser. That's not taking responsibility. For the part about misinformation, if you were revising many of your statements, why didn't you take down the video? I mean, I remember you were pausing and even removing comments you deemed as hate on that video. There was no pinned comment or title indicating that the information is now inaccurate and flat out wrong. You know, for a person who takes pride in creating an evidence book for their Wilbur support squad, you're pretty shit at providing evidence. On the part about Katie and George, all I have to say is, Godspeed to your boyfriend. Lord knows he'll need it when you both are 18.
What you did made me feel unsafe, and as someone older and presumably more experienced, I hoped and expected better from you. I shouldn't have to explain why that hurt.
It's a video that doesn't even have 1,000 views. I'm not even a known commentary YouTuber. I have 73 subscribers. I don't have a fan base, and I have your friends shouting at me in my comments, yet you don't see me whining about how I feel unsafe. Your influence online outweighs mine. I don't think anybody is going to harass or dox you, and let me be clear, I don't support people doing that. What I think is going on here is that you're scared more people will call you out on your bullshit instead of having your hugbox constantly affirm and support everything you do. Both of us are content creators. Not everything you put out will have people praising you. People will be negative. They will shit on you. That's how it goes, and if you can't handle that, you shouldn't be a content creator.
If you're willing to have a private, mature conversation about this, I've sent you a friend request on Discord. I'd like to resolve this directly if possible.
I accepted this friend request and we'll be going over the contents of that later in this video. Old Man Jenkins responds with, "Public information justifies a public video. This is the internet. Why not make a video responding if you don't like it? Also, no touching without verbal consent, lol. But lying is fine. Wild stuff." Dewdrzps then responds to Old Man Jenkins with,
I'm aware public information deserves a public response. However, when having a conversation as important as that, I see it okay to have a private conversation, especially with this topic. I get some people think touching without verbal consent is okay. I don't. That was my point. I get we have different viewpoints, but that doesn't mean someone, let alone an adult, should be calling anyone, regardless of their age, retarded.
After this, I checked Dew's other social media to see if he posted anything about it, since I noticed it was something he did whenever anyone criticized him. Initially, I found that he did on Tumblr, but after checking back again, it turns out he deleted his account before I could archive it. Luckily, one of his friends reblogged it so we could see it. Take note, the other comments that are now unable to be viewed were saying that I was harassing Dewdrzps. He wrote on Tumblr,
This is going on. I'm going to try and resolve this privately before I make a public response, but I thought I'd let you guys know, I guess.
While I was editing my video, I found additional Tumblr posts made by Dewdrzps' friends and another from Dew himself. They really just love digging themselves deeper, don't they? I mean, I was ready to go and publish this video, but the content keeps on flowing, and thus I needed to revise. Purple Punk, or Punky, receives an ask from All the Good Usernames Are Taken, oh no, who says, "She just replied to my comment telling me I'll be in the thumbnail of her next video. LMAO, she really has no life." Punky responds with a reaction image and has the hashtags Punky's Junk, the Arssen situation, That's sucky, mate. Praying for you, not religiously, lol. Then they proceed to check out the comment exchange and they have the caption, what the fuck, 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 what the fuck. And the exchange goes, from arssensycrx. This will be addressed in the follow-up video and you will be in the thumbnail. Congrats! Normal human being, I think, responds with, at least blur my user. Surely you have the decency to care about someone's privacy, yeah? You probably won't get many views, but still. Edit. Never mind. Looks like you posted the thumbnail anyway, so not like it matters anymore. Learn a thing or two about privacy, alright. To which I respond with, you made a public comment on a public video. If it bothers you so much, I'll make yours the biggest one out of the 3. So Punky's hashtags here are Punky's drunk, the Arssen situation, what the fuck, I'm so mad dude, that's such a crappy thing to do. To which all the good usernames are taken, oh no, reblogs it with reblog, oh hey that's me, something is deeply wrong with Arssen in my opinion, like genuine concern, that behavior isn't normal. What privacy are we talking about here? Again, you made a public comment on my video. I hold the standard that if you post and respond on a public platform, it's fair game to use and critique it. Now obviously that doesn't apply to someone's personal Facebook account with a real name and location. You left a dumb comment that I can use for an easy, quick thumbnail. Deal with it. And yes, I am very petty. I have never said that I wasn't. Punky makes another post that says, oh heck no man, crying face emoticon. With the hashtags, the Arssen situation, Punky's junk, I'm just really scared for those who've supported Dew, including me. She's making another video apparently. I don't like this. Oh no! The 74 sub PNG tuber is going to make a follow-up based on responses. Oh no! The horror! It's not like the block and mute button exists on all social media. Oh no! You people constantly have beef with the Shubble support squad. How are you this thin-skinned? Punky receives an ask from the archivist, who is Dewdrzps, and he says,
when she posts her response video, I'm not even going to watch it. I'm just going to make a post on here about it and be like, okay, and move on with my life.
Clearly you aren't moving on with your life if you make a giant wall of text and interact with the situation.
I'm just not going to respond to anything she says anymore because she's just like a manipulator and all manipulators want a reaction. She's going to get an okay and that's it.
A manipulator? That's rich coming from you when you cry victim and keep bringing up my age as a weapon against me when my criticism was of your actions. I'm predicting that when this video gets released, Dewdrzps will move to calling me an abuser, just like he did with Shubble, because God forbid anyone harshly criticizes you. Do you expect me to coddle you and say, oh, this darling little angel made an oopsie? I'm not going to do that. I may use harsh language, but criticism is still criticism. The fact that you and your friends avoid addressing my points shows that you're still hiding in your hug box.
I feel like the rest of our friend group should do the same, move on and ignore her because what she wants is clout and a reaction. Me and her both know I apologize for my actions of making the bots and spreading misinformation. She hasn't apologized for anything. She doesn't see it wrong that people tried to go to my YouTube channel to harass me, or that she caused me so much distress I had to hide my account for the community I love.
Wow, took you that long to figure it out, eh? You are an interesting and easy topic to talk about because you did unhinged actions and gave me the opportunity to also address misinformation that I see online about the Wilbur situation. I killed a flock of birds with one stone through these videos. Talk about something that interests me, get out of the content hiatus, gain more views and subs, as well as dunk on those insane individuals. I'm not going to apologize for anything. I stand by what I did. Also, who was even harassing you? How many of them were there? The video has less than 500 views at the moment of me recording, and that amount was lower when you deleted everything. I have 2 positive comments and a nearly 50-50 like to dislike ratio, so who was harassing you? You guys throw that word around and you don't have the proof to back it up, which is so like you people. Cry victim every single chance you get. You were distressed from an account that's less than a fifth of your size and averages around 200 to 400 views per video. Brother, Your community is the one that's in my comments. I expected you to make a response on your channel and not delete everything. This bitch acts like I doxed him at gunpoint when all I did was pull up the content he put out of his own will, criticize it, and insult him because of it. Every essay you put out means more content for me to mine from, and the longer this video gets.
I'm not the one that used the r-slur directed towards her, and I'm not the one ranting on Twitter and calling some random minor a bitch, retard, and delusion fucked in head too.
My 2 complaints on Twitter are directed towards your retarded fucking friends who can't watch the first 30 seconds of a video and engage with my points even if I spell it out for them in the comments. Tell your glue sniffer squad to learn what I'm criticizing before accusing me of harassment when they didn't even watch the damn thing. I stand by what I said. I stand on business, something that you can't seem to do.
I'm 16, I got a job, and some great friends, and I've got pets that I can spend my time on. I can work on getting my school schedule ready and up. I'm taking astronomy this year. Sparkle, sparkle, sparkle.
That is normal for a 16-year-old. I'd be concerned, but not surprised, if you lack that. Hopefully, having a job and an active life will fix how fucked you are in the head, because Lord knows what type of excuses you'll make for yourself once you lose the "I'm a minor" card.
I get to go out with friends today and make cake, and I get to go watch a musical. The Newsies today is going to be a good day because I say so.
Sure, but you tell yourself that. By the way, if any allegations comes out from the cast of the Newsies, don't pull what you did in the Epic the Musical subreddit. They cooked your ass.
I'm not going to let some random person decide what I can and can't have opinions about for one. I'm not going to let some 20-year-old think she has some sort of leverage over me when I apologized multiple times and took accountability for the bad things I did.
Dude, you literally nuked your entire online presence over a video that, when you deleted, only had less than 200 views. Then your friend was implying that I'd be responsible if you killed yourself, which, spoiler alert, you then proceed to confirm in my DMs. You're clearly affected by it, and your apologies aren't sincere. You only apologized because you got called out by someone who noticed it.
I'm still learning. I'm still a teenager. She's 20 years old and decided hurling slurs and mental illness comments towards a minor and making a video about it since I already made a public video on a public subject, or whatever the fuck she said. That says more about her than does me.
Bitch, you're 16 years old. I think that's old enough to know that it is fucked up to depict an alleged abuse victim as the abuser in multiple character AI bots and in your supposed evidence stocks. Like what? Every time you do something wrong and someone calls you out on it, you're going to pull the "I'm a minor" card. It shows me that you don't give a fuck that you did horrific things. You keep disguising it as a simple mistake when it clearly isn't. It takes a while to write and set up character AI bots to work as intended, let alone 3 bots depicting Shubble as an abuser. They were your most popular ones too. Not to mention how your Gotcha Life series has Shubble as a narcissistic, abusive stepmother using a sound snippet from Amazon Standing Lamp to further make it as realistic as possible.
No. It's not you again, is it?
The "it's fiction" excuse doesn't work either when your Dear Shubble supporters video from 4 months ago has you pushing the belief that she was hitting Wilbur.
Today is going to be okay because I say so.
This is total cope, and I feel that this image summarizes the entire vibe of this wall of text. Punky responds with, "Okay, you're right. You pulled me out of spiraling. Thanks. Haha. Glad you won't watch the vid she'll put out. That type of stuff's damaging to psyches. Have a wonderful, amazing day, mate. The Newsies sound so fun." The only thing these 2 videos are damaging to is your friend's ego, and I find it incredibly funny that someone as small as me can cause you to spiral. Like, damn. None of you people should be online if one person calling you out is enough to make you crumble. Anyone can make a video, I'm just the first one to do it. Let's take note of the last tag. Also, astronomy? Oh. Because someone replied to the post with, "Yeah." I was going to take chem, but my dad was like, I can't let you do that to yourself. Absolutely not. So he switched my classes. Bro, you can't even make this shit up. Dewdrzps has rebranded to a new account called achlysgreek, which is further supported by the tag Spunky placed on his intro post. Oh, and if you're going to run to a new account, at least don't make it obvious. You liked every post Punky made that had the hashtag the Arssen situation. Wow, when I hear that tag, I feel like a commentary big boy. Documentation? Documenting what? Everything I have said is public and I stand by everything I have done, unless I made a statement saying otherwise. If anyone wants to make a call out, they're free to do so. I get to put out more content and gain more notoriety. I'm not going to be a pussy who deletes everything and hides behind her friends because someone called me out. I'd take the time to address the situation. Do you seriously think I would be scared of a bunch of dumb bitches who can't even provide concrete evidence? You can try, absolutely, but expect a vicious response. If there's a word that can describe me as a commentary PNG YouTuber, it's that I'm meticulous when it comes to finding information. You can call me invasive, but I leave no stone unturned when it comes to covering drama. So do all the documenting you like, and I'll also do documentation on you. Just don't cry about it when you see how exhaustive I can be. So let's take a look at our DM correspondence. Why not keep it private, you ask? Because all of our other interactions have been public, and I made it clear to him that I'll be including it. I'll be censoring his username because I don't want people to spam his friend requests. When I saw that he sent a friend request, I accepted it and told him, my stance is very simple. I made a public response to your public videos. I don't take down any posts that I make. If you want to respond to my criticisms, do so on your public platform where you have nearly 500 subscribers. That's way more reach than my 72 subs. He then responds with another big-ass paragraph. Like, holy shit, dude, this is the reason why I couldn't keep my first video to 20 minutes or less. Anyways, I'll go through it point by point as usual.
I responded in your comments, which I hope helps you understand where I am coming from better. You are using our difference in subscribes. I don't believe is a valid response regarding a situation since I very well could bring our age difference into it, which I did as one of my points. I wanted to have a private conversation with you, 1, to apologize for unknowingly spreading information, but 2, not having enough proof to support my claims. That's on my part and I am trying to do better.
No, it's not valid to bring our age difference into it. You're 4 years younger, you're 16. Stop acting like you're a snotty-nosed child in elementary. You have the mental capacity to comprehend what I am saying and respond. My point in bringing up the difference in our subscribers is to point out that you have a platform where you can address my criticisms. I'm not targeting a small fry. I'm targeting a fish bigger than me. I have no desire for your apologies because you presented yourself as the person with all the evidence about the Wilbur Soot situation. Your mistakes can't be hand-waved away with a simple apology because it's a recurring pattern of behavior that you do on all your platforms. Besides, why are you apologizing to me? When it is Shubble you should be apologizing to. You were the one who was slandering her by calling her an abuser, claiming she groomed a minor, that she accused Parker and Speedy of abuse too, that she is guilty of causing 4 children's suicides, and more. You're just scared that my video might take off and people will see you for the disgusting freak that you are.
I wanted to have a conversation to discuss where we were coming from. One of the biggest things for me regarding Katie is that I do not believe there is a thing as nonverbal consent because that's just where my morals and opinions sit.
When a person asks you if you want to do something and you nod your head enthusiastically, what is that called? Nonverbal consent does exist. Humans don't communicate solely by words. We communicate through words and actions. I've explained my views on Katie-bugs in the last video. I see no need to reiterate the same points here unless you want this follow-up video to be more than an hour long.
What I don't fully understand is why you're unwilling to have a conversation with me, since you very specifically said you were waiting for my opinion to analyze me further. I'm willing to do that privately because I don't believe the rest of the situation necessarily needs to be public. But I get how, because you see things posted as public, you get to respond to them publicly. You do.
He's probably referring to my conclusion in the last video, which I'll show here. You are a delusional retard obsessed with the image of Wilbur Soot you conjured up in your head. I look forward to seeing whatever response you come up with and documenting you further. What I meant by looking forward to his response is that I wanted to see how he'll try to excuse his actions and paint himself as a victim. I mean, I always expected him to play victim, and that is what he's doing right now. As for the documenting part, my plan has always been to release the first video introducing who he is and critiquing him, then analyzing his response in the next. Do you want to know why? Because commentating on an unhinged individual is fun. That's drama commentary.
However, that doesn't necessarily mean you should ignore any attempts to have further conversations, regardless of if they're private or not.
I refuse to elaborate in DMs because I'm going to do so with a video. Why should I waste my effort typing a long-ass redundant paragraph when I can respond in a video form and address everything in one sitting?
What I don't understand either is why you had to make it public in the first place when we were simply talking about the situation in a comment section where it could have stayed.
I explained it in the first minute of my first video. Normally, I'd ignore some child's random vent post about drama, but when I looked at his profile, holy shit. From making rant videos about how Wilbur Soot's innocent to writing character AI bots that depict Shubble as an abuser, this stan is deranged. Do you seriously think that if you just had that video about Katybugs that I'd make a commentary video on you? It's all your actions, especially those character AI bots that drove me out of my content hiatus to create a video.
I understand you're a commentary channel, but I still believe a part of being in your line on content creation specifically, you should be more open to have private conversations. Thank you for reading that if you did, and I hope we can have a private conversation to discuss things. I can't make you take the video down, but please in the future, don't call people retarded. Please.
It's just in your case that I don't want to have a private conversation. I believe public beef stays public. The only time as a commentary PNG tuber that I'd have a private conversation is if someone is feeding confidential information to me, or it's a matter that needs to remain private, like a sensitive issue that was never brought up in public before. Your intention was to privately message me to demand that I take down my video so that your disgusting actions will be forgotten. I mean, if I took down my video, the evidence that you made horrible lies about Shubble and made various works depicting her as the actual abuser would go away. I know you acknowledge it here, but let me make this clear to you. I will never take down my video on you. Even if you somehow got your friends to mass report it, I will put it back up. I will make sure that it stays up so that everyone will know just who you are. You are worse than retarded, Dewdrzps. You are so much more than that, and in my conclusion, I will tell you what you are. After that long essay, I responded with, "Just make a video response, laughing my ass off." To which he responds with,
I currently have a community strike, so I can't.
my final message in this DM exchange was, I am not litigating this in DMs. For full transparency, I will make a follow-up video based on these long-ass essays. There are times that I do respond to private conversations, but this is an instance where I critiqued your public actions. This will stay a public matter. To which Dewdrzps responded with this.
I understand that, but are you not even willing to hear out where the situation is coming from despite that? My thought processes? Like, I get it's public matter, I agree with that, but it also feels unfair if you to not at all even attempt to understand where I am coming from and why I believe the things I do. I'm not trying to start anything, I just want to know why.
I don't give a fuck about where you came from, what your trauma is, and your past. I criticize you for the words and actions you posted on your YouTube and character AI accounts. Your thought process is wrong. I don't even know what goes on inside that skull of yours that thinks it's a good idea not to make one, but 3 character AI bots painting an alleged victim as the abuser. I'm evaluating the product of that thought process. I don't need to see the ingredients to know that it's shit. When I thought he was finally done, nope. There's one last message, and it's the one that pissed me off the most.
I know this might sound out of pocket as well, but it's important to me that you know this. I didn't feel safe when you made your video or posted about it on Twitter, and I know you're going to tell me public post, public response, where is completely fair, but I can't sit here knowing I have an opportunity to talk to you and not tell you that, especially since you're 20 and I'm 16, and I'm not trying to use my age as an excuse, even if it might seem like that, but it's important to me to know that you know the impact that had on someone, especially since we have an age gap, especially in development. I know that probably wasn't your intention, but I thought it best for you to know anyway. Thank you for at least responding to me, even though we don't agree, and you very clearly do not like me or agree. That's fine, but please next time be more careful about your approach a situation.
Ah yes, my video with less than 500 views and majority of comments being your friends accusing me of harassment, along with my tweet with 3 likes and 121 views made you feel unsafe. Thinnest skinned person I have ever seen in my life. My video will do nothing to you. I'd be lucky if it reached the views my stream segment on Chibimation's ex-developer had. In my last video, I showed a tweet that reshoed mine. Compared to my 83 likes, it got 100 times the likes and more than 100,000 views. That's not accounting for all the other people who tweeted and replied to my tweet, shitting on me. Did I complain about feeling unsafe? No, because I can stand on business. I never deleted my tweet and let it stay up. None of those people harassed me in my messages or in my comments. I didn't get doxxed either. You are the weakest person I've ever seen. I've seen other Wilbur stands who got worse than me, and they never went on delete fucking everything mode. Oh, and don't try to play the age gap and development excuse with me. You wrote Daddy's Girl on AO3, a smut one-shot about feeding into your daddy kink, and you want to play the age card? If you're old enough to write a detailed smut fic about an 18-plus kink, then you are old enough to understand the critiques that I gave you. I'm not out here grooming you to be a Discord kitten. I called you out on your bullshit. The only thing impacted here is your ego. Now, before I conclude with this follow-up video, I want to go through the comments that I know came from Dewdrzps' friends and subscribers. It's really telling that you delete everything and have to hide behind people defending you. First up, we have B Does Things who says, I love how we've forgotten the common courtesy of censoring usernames and identifying imagery to avoid hate campaigns being slung at children on the internet. You do realize you're harassing a child, right? You know what people are going to say to them about this, right? A common thing that you will notice with these comments are them saying I'm harassing Dewdrzps. I criticized and called them out for exactions. I was mean, sure, but that's not harassment. If you think that's harassment, then you are allergic to criticism. He's also a content creator with an audience that was bigger than me. Like, he had at almost 500 subscribers before he deleted his channel. I have 73. I'm not big by any means. The video hasn't, like, blown up to thousands of views either. Who in my audience went after him after I posted the video? Well, can you even prove that he was being harassed? Censoring his name defeats the point of the video. The video is meant to call him out as an insane stan who lied about Shubble and depicted her as the actual abuser. You're very quick to accuse me of harassment when you can't even engage with the points I made in the video. Also, B outright accuses me that if Dew kills himself, then that would be on me, which is crazy. Again, I disavow any sorts of threats being made. Next up, we have Normal Human Being, I think, who says, You're harassing a child. You're a grown woman. Grow up. Touch grass. Again, you can see that they claim that I'm harassing a child. They make it seem like I'm tormenting a 10-year-old out here. Dude, he's 16. A 16-year-old is a high schooler who knows how to articulate their thoughts and fight their own battles. They had no problem fighting with some rando named Tank Evelyn and typing essays upon essays of responses to people. Yet, all of a sudden, I put my criticisms in a video format, and I'm mean, and then it's suddenly harassment? Get a grip! You only use my age as a convenient excuse to trash all the arguments and evidence I put out. It's telling that you have no reaction to the fact he was perfectly fine depicting Shubble as the abuser and egregiously lying about her. Finally, we have Not So Wildflowers, also known as Theo Bradley, and he says, Congrats! You have harassed a minor! Bet you feel big and strong and proud of yourself, but seriously, you're an adult and Theo is a minor, and you decided to make a 43-minute long video bashing them for liking a singer and believing somebody who has made allegations of assault. You might see them changing accounts as a victory. It isn't something you should be proud of. It's something you should be ashamed of. You should also be ashamed for all the derogatory terms you've used and the manner you conduct yourself in. You call us parasocial, yet you bully children over a Minecraft YouTuber. Grow up, touch gas, and get your shit in order. I feel like Theo is a victim of fetal alcohol syndrome since he can't comprehend why I made the video, even though I stated why in the first 2 minutes. I didn't make this Wilbur Soot stan is insane because I wanted to bash him for liking Wilbur Soot and believing Katybugs. I made it because he's a hypocrite who spreads lies about Shubble and made character AI bots that depict her as the abuser. Why do all of you look past that when I mentioned it at the start of my video? Also, I never wanted them to delete everything. I wanted them to stand on business. I didn't think that they'd panic and delete everything. I am not ashamed of the derogatory term I used because he was doing worse shit. And that's how I express myself. If you don't like that, fine, but actually listen to what I'm saying before you cry about the language I'm using. Like, I mean, what else would you call someone who's so far up their ass they believe that Shubble is the true abuser all along when there is nothing to back that claim up? I call Dew parasocial because he excuses every claim he made against Wilbur and wholeheartedly believes every single negative claim about Shubble. I should tell you people to touch grass. With how much you are vehemently defending Dewdrzps, no wonder he got this bad. You're all a bunch of yes men who can't call your friend out on his shit. You keep excusing what he did because he's a minor, and that's why he never learns. I call him a lot of insults, and I don't regret it, because it seems here that I'm the only person telling him what he's doing was fucked. Now that I have addressed everything, I have one last message to Dewdrzps, currently known as achlysgreek. You are a coward. You claim to have all this evidence exonerating Wilbur Soot and proving that Shubble is actually the bad guy, the abuser in this relationship. However, when someone finally calls you out on your bullshit, disproves the so-called evidence you compiled with actual screenshots and articles, you cower. You delete everything that you were so confident putting out and hide behind your friends. Even the Katybugs video, when your opinion of it didn't change, it shows to me that when you're in control, when it's in your comment section, you're proud, you're confident. You have no problem spewing lies because who can correct you? You can silence anyone in there and dress it up as them hating on you. But now there's a video that I made where I look at everything you say and debunk your points one by one. I know you're scared and you say you feel unsafe, but not because you fear people sending mean messages or knocking on your door. You're scared about the death of your credibility and even the possibility of you being wrong about everything. I mean, the more that your evidence gets debunked means that there's a lower possibility that Wilbur is innocent, that the possibility of him actually being an abuser, sexual assaulter, or groomer grows. I know that scares you because of your actions. Because the lower the chance that he is innocent, the more you start to realize that you might have depicted the victim of abuse as the abuser, that you have slandered someone who has gone through a horrible experience because you love Wilbur Soot. You even made an original character that's his child who experienced abuse at Shubble's hands. You can't deny that he's your idol, which makes it worse. Since there's a good chance that you idolized an abuser and further added torment to his victims. I may be skeptical of the claims and have questioned his accusers, but I don't have to deal with the impending guilt of portraying them as worse than him. You're not just a delusional parasocial retard who's fucked in the head, you are a manipulative monster who somehow found it justifiable to spread horrific lies about someone because they went against your idol. No amount of excuses changes that. The fact that you keep pulling the "I'm a minor" excuse makes it worse because you think that doing things like that is excusable so long as you remain under 18. It's not. You say you took accountability when you didn't. You paint me as a manipulator, a harasser, and liable for your possible suicide when all I did was shine the spotlight on you. There would be no videos if you just acted normal, if you weren't so far up your own ass that you were okay with everything until someone called you out. I may be an insanely rude and petty A-logging PNG tuber, but I can sleep well at night knowing that I have never accused the potential victim of being the abuser. Good day, Dewdrzps. Hopefully you can live with yourself.